Does your child have an IEP or you think they need one? Then you've come to the right place. If they have special education services, then more than likely you're going to need to do a virtual IEP meeting. The problem is IEPs are so difficult to begin with, and when you attend a virtual meeting, they are so much harder. Don't stress, take a deep breath. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. That's why in this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes of virtual IEP meetings to show you the 5 things you must and must not do to advocate like a pro. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate, and today I'm joined by my cat, Mrs. Capricorn. We're here to make your IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. Make sure to like and subscribe to get more videos like this in your inbox, and follow us on Instagram at Rise Ed Advocacy. Here's what you need to know about virtual IEPs. Before we talk about IEPs, we first need to back it up a minute and do a quick recap. Individual education plans, also known as IEPs, are regulated under IDEA law. Here's the problem. Parents and teachers aren't given the right playbook when it comes to IEP training, understanding how to run an IEP meeting, and so importantly, how to feel comfortable as a parent to understand what to ask for and how to get it. That's exactly why I'm so happy that you're watching this video, because when it comes to virtual IEP meetings, they are very difficult unless you know exactly what I'm going to tell you right now. Case in point, make sure to check out my first free guide, the 10 tips on virtual IEP meetings, that's going to tell you exactly 10 things that you can do right now to make your child's next IEP meeting so much better. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. Are you ready to dive in? Let's do this. The first thing that you must do is be given access to your child's documents. What am I talking about? Most virtual IEP meetings, families aren't given the paperwork before the meeting. And because you're not there, you can't see what the heck your team is offering you. And this is a huge problem for so many families. Here's the deal. Pro tip. Under IDEA law, families must be given access to view your child's educational record. That means that you can request for IEP drafts and to see the IEP as it's being done in real time. Make sure to check out my video series, How to Get the Best IEP, with 5 videos in the playlist series that clarify from the ground up how to fix your child's IEP to make it so much easier. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. This brings me to the second thing that you must do: meaningfully participate in your IEP. What am I talking about? I'm talking about that your team must not prevent you from participating in the discussion or putting on the mute button or say, you know what, we're going to wait till the very end and then we're going to get your concerns later. Nope. They can't do that. Under IDEA law, you're able to meaningfully participate throughout the team discussion. That also means, pro tip, that you can give your input. Here's the problem. With virtual IEP meetings, because you're not there in person, how do you know if your input is actually getting on the IEP? That means that you need to do it beforehand. I created something called the IEP meeting request template that gives you all the tools that you need to submit what's called a parent letter of attachment before the meeting. It tells you exactly what you can ask for, how you can get teams to unmute you during the IEP, how to know what to ask for and how to get it, and how to make your virtual IEP meeting so much easier so you can fully and meaningfully participate at the IEP. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. Do you have an IEP or even a virtual IEP meeting right around the corner? Make sure to watch my video, Do This Before the Meeting, that gives you 5 tips so that you can know exactly how to feel fully prepared before your child's next IEP. Grab that link in the description box below. Now it's time to dive into one of the biggest problems with virtual IEP meetings. Tip number 3, schools must adhere to FERPA safeguards and must not breach confidentiality. What am I talking about? When you sit in a virtual IEP meeting, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be sitting there and everyone else on the team from the school, they might be on their phones. They might be on their computers. How do you know that the meeting is confidential? You don't. You don't know unless you ask for it. So, case in point, when I was a school psych, when I was an advocate, when I've been a parent, I've seen people who walk behind the meeting and they're just walking in and out of the IEP room. That is absolutely not confidential. I've also seen teachers take a phone call during the meeting. Yeah, that's not okay. Or teachers are on their phone. They could be some other location, in a coffee shop, in a Starbucks. Absolutely not confidential. And as a parent, you have the right under FERPA to not disclose personal identifiable information, also known as PII. This means that you're able to, and you have the right to say, I would like everyone to be on a district computer. I would like everyone to wear headphones. I want to make sure that the meeting is confidential and that we have a private room so that while I'm sitting at home on my virtual IEP, that I know everybody else in the team meeting is in a confidential location and that my personal child's information is not being shared with anybody else. Speaking of knowing what to ask for, make sure to check out my free meeting IEP day checklist. Grab it in the link in the description box below that clarifies the 5 different things that you want to bring to every single one of your child's IEP meetings so that whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, you know exactly how to prep and feel so much better. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. Let's do a quick recap. Tip 1, schools must give you access. Tip 2, you have the right to have meaningful participation. And tip 3, there must be confidentiality during your child's virtual IEP meeting. This brings me to tip number 4. Schools must provide real-time IEP revisions and must not predetermine placement. What am I talking about? During a virtual IEP meeting, more than likely, unless you ask for it in advance through the parent letter of attachment that I've been talking about, your team might not be sharing the screen. You might not be seeing real-time revisions of what your team is talking about. Case in point, pro tip. So many times I've sat in an IEP meeting on all sides of the table and the team is telling the family, okay, we're going to make these changes, we're going to do that. And then when the family gets a copy of the IEP, it's not on there. That's exactly why when it comes to really big things like services, eligibility, number of minutes for your child, where your child is going to receive supports and services, also known as the offer of FAPE, you want to make sure to tell your team, please display it on the screen. Please show me exactly what you're doing so that I can see in real time that you're making the revisions. What I'm not saying is that the entire meeting, word by word, needs to be done virtually. I totally understand as a school psych and even as an advocate that sometimes some of these things need to be done afterwards. But the big things in terms of modifying the IEP and changing it, you want to see that it's done in real time so that you get exactly what you are asking for. So are you struggling at the IEP table? Are you like, oh my gosh, April, I really have a hard time reading the IEP meetings? Yes, I do too. Make sure to grab my IEP meeting workshop. It's a 1-day workshop that walks you through how to read your child's IEP, what it looks like, what the different parts of the IEP look like, what to ask for, how to get it. I've even got fillable templates and step-by-step guides. You don't have to stress whether it's a virtual or an in-person IEP meeting for your child. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. This brings me to tip number 5. Schools must abide by IDA law and must not go with administrative convenience. What am I talking about? Pro tip. So many times when I was sitting in a virtual IEP meeting, the teachers would just come in and come out. Oh, okay, they're just logging in. Oh, okay, so-and-so's coming to the meeting. No. Under IDA law, teachers must come to the meeting and must not be excused early unless the parents give permission and they request for that excusal to happen before the meeting. So just because a meeting is virtual does not mean that your school has different rules and expectations. The same goes through if your team members have their screen on or off. You want to make sure that you request as a parent during a virtual IEP meeting that everybody has their screen on, because how do you know who else is in the meeting? How do you know if they're paying attention? How do you know if they're even in the meeting? You need to make sure that the screens are on, and pro tip, that chat button on the side, so many times certain platforms have chat button, that is turned off, because under IDA guidelines, teams cannot be having secondary meetings outside. If it's during the IEP, then the parent needs to have access to the records like I talked about and be able to see what is happening, and having a sidebar conversation. Yeah, that's not okay under IDA law. So make sure that you request everything in writing. You use all those attachments that I talked about before so that your virtual IEP meeting can be so much easier. Speaking of IEP meetings, what do you ask the teacher? What do you say for your child's general education teacher during an IEP that can help you negotiate and can make your meeting so much better? Make sure to check out my video that gives 3 tips of the best things that you can ask your child's general education teacher during a virtual IEP or during an in-person meeting that helps to prompt the services and supports and get the right accommodations in play. I use it as an advocate. I used it as a school psych. It's the best questions that you can ask your teacher. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So now you know the 5 things that you must and must not do for virtual IEP meetings. Do you have a question, or do you want to share your story? Make sure to add it in the description box below, because I want to make your virtual meetings better. Do you want me to do another video or expand on more what I've already talked about? Yep, put it there too. Make sure to like and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy to get more tips like this in your inbox. I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate. I can't wait to see you for our next video.